Are you okay? What's wrong? Oh, Darci, I were given a hassle terrific, and I even have a fading mouse and a bunny who thinks she's a diva. I don't forget nearly feeling like I changed into going to puke like each time at 19. Darci Lynne showed what lovers had feared. One of her very own judges crossed a line she could not ignore. Regarded for her expertise with puppets and her candy, completely satisfied persona, Darci had kept a painful fact hidden backstage. What does it imply when someone so well known has confronted such betrayal? Tune in as we find the fact so as to exchange the whole thing you thought you knew about A's judges. Give it up for Darci Lynne. Fame and the hidden scars. Darci's avenue to repute appeared glamorous from the outside, but few humans could have imagined what she persevered backstage. This wasn't just about practice periods, grueling rehearsals, or the usual pressure of repute. One fateful day, a judge, someone she thought she could trust, crossed a line. He was not a stranger but rather a familiar face, a person who was supposed to uplift younger talent. It's the kind of tale that gets buried, hidden below contracts and non-disclosure agreements. But she could no longer remain quiet. Years passed. Whispers became rumors, and eventually, she decided to let the truth come out. The world needed to know about the ugly reality lurking behind all the bright lights and applause. But before we reveal the whole story, it's clear that this betrayal runs much deeper than anyone could have guessed. And it might not be the only shocking truth to come. The importance of having a mentor like Gary Owen in her life can't be understated. Gary was the kind of mentor who not only introduced her to the spotlight, but also taught her how to cope with the shadows. He trained her not just in perfecting ventriloquism but in understanding every audience member, making them feel like they were a part of her journey. Gary had been in the industry for years. He knew how harsh it could be, how talent was sometimes seen as a commodity rather than a gift. But even Gary couldn't fully shield her from what was to come. After her win on America's Got Talent, her career skyrocketed, catching the attention of powerful people. Simon Cowell, who played a pivotal role in her career, saw potential in her and signed her to his record label, Psycho Music. At first, it seemed like the best thing that could happen to her. She now had access to top-level producers, amazing songwriters, and the tools to expand her career beyond ventriloquism. She dove into singing, TV, and more. For a while, it seemed like nothing could go wrong. But behind the success, there was an incident that haunted her, an event that had never seen the light of day until now. Her world wasn't just about talent and fame. There was also a painful health crisis. Some people knew about the truth, that she battled a severe illness. The disorder tested her strength beyond what anyone could imagine. She faced it head-on, drawing strength from her family and mentor. "I'm so good, but just nervous." Gary knew something had happened, but even he was shocked when she revealed the full extent of it. She described the moment when the judge overstepped, a moment so wrong that it changed everything for her. It wasn't just about inappropriate touches. It was about betrayal. Someone in power, someone who was supposed to nurture young talent, took advantage of his position. And there she was, a teenager caught between speaking out and the fear of losing everything she'd worked for. It wasn't just Simon Cowell who helped shape her career. People like Justin Bieber had Usher, and Billie Eilish had her brother Phineas O'Connell. Mentors are supposed to guide young stars through the complexities of fame, not lead them into darkness. For her, Gary was the only rock she could lean on during those dark days. Even though she had everything, fame, money, talent, the one thing she struggled for was peace. When she finally spoke out, it wasn't for revenge. It was for every other young person who looked up to her, who dreamed of entering the industry but didn't understand the risks lurking beneath the surface. Just as her success started to grow, the pain she tried to hide kept coming back. I watched on YouTube, you already know, Terry Fator, who won America's Got Talent. He's another famous ventriloquist. The harsh truths of Darci's rise. Simon Cowell, known for his sharp criticism, saw something great in her and took her under his wing. Joining his record label gave her the chance to learn from the best. But it also placed her in environments where people like that judge existed. After years of silence, she finally decided to tell her truth, and it shook the very foundation of what people thought about her career. She wasn't just a puppet master, she was a survivor. A person who had to fight not just an illness but also an industry that was supposed to support her. Her involvement in cancer awareness and charity work showed her resilience. Despite her fame, her real legacy was in the positive change she continued to inspire. Her donation to the Toby Keith Foundation, which supports children with cancer, was more than just a charitable act. It was her way of turning pain into purpose, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, she chose to shine a light for others. In a world where celebrities are often seen as untouchable, she wanted people to see that she was just as vulnerable as anyone else. And when she finally spoke out about what the judge did, it made her all the more human. She had been wronged, but she chose to rise above it. It's easy to look at someone like her and only see the success, the puppets, the songs, the fame. But it's also crucial to remember that behind every performance, there is a person. Behind the applause, there is a young girl who faced challenges most adults wouldn't be able to handle. She fought her way to the top, not just with talent, but with grit. And even though some tried to take advantage of her, she chose to fight back. She chose to take control of her own story. And that's what makes her truly inspiring. As she continues her career, she is no longer just entertaining. She is standing as a beacon of hope for others. It's not just about ventriloquism or singing anymore. It's about using her platform to speak up about things that matter. She was expected to smile, be the perfect role model, and make everyone happy, all while dealing with her own personal struggles. As a teenager, it wasn't just about talent. It was about trying to grow up under the scrutiny of millions. She was not only managing the challenges of her career, but also navigating the complexities of adolescence. The pressure to perform, the constant travel, the rehearsals, it all took a toll on her well-being. And then, there was him, the one who crossed the line. It didn't happen suddenly. It was a series of moments that made her uncomfortable. He was always there, offering advice, giving compliments that seemed harmless at first but gradually became more invasive. He was a powerful figure in the industry, someone she felt she needed to impress. And that made his actions even harder to navigate. She didn't know how to react. Should she speak up? Should she stay silent? This was someone who had influence, someone who could make or break careers with a single word. She was trapped in a terrifying situation. As the fame and demands piled up, she realized not everyone around her wanted the best for her. Yeah, a bit. Also, right, it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, the crowd is here. A rising star with a dark story, she tried to dismiss the uncomfortable moments, telling herself it wasn't what she thought. She focused on her work, her performances, trying to live up to the expectations of her growing audience. But it wasn't easy. The judge's behavior had become more overt, his comments more personal. There were touches that lingered too long. A hand on her shoulder that moved down her back. She felt trapped. She wanted to believe it was all in her head, that she was overreacting. But deep down, she knew something was very wrong.